Welcome to a mostly Mopar family. This is Memorial Day. It's a little after 6 a.m. Got an early start this morning. On my way down to San Antonio, but first I'm going to pick up a really good buddy, my friend Mark. He's been a great friend for many years. I actually followed him home on Main Street 25 years ago when I was a high schooler. He had a 1971 Barracuda. That's how I met him. He's going to come along with me on a road trip. We're headed down to San Antonio, Texas to pick up a really cool and solid 1967 Mustang Fastback. I know I'm a mostly Mopar guy, but when it's not Mopar, Mustang Fastback is my next best thing. And this looks to be a really cool and promising car.
Where's your ramp there? I don't think you're quite on it. You might want to pull it out.
Yeah, how's that side?
I'm good on this side.
What's my spacing over there?
You're fine. Right in the
Sorry if I look a little beat down and tired. We had storms coming in from the west side of Texas, and instead of spending the night in Texas, we just kept driving straight through. It was a long night. I got in about 5:10 in the morning this morning, stumbled in, fell into bed, got a couple hours of sleep, and now I'm out here looking just like I've been drugged through the mud to show you guys this amazing car. Yesterday morning, I left Newton about 6 a.m., headed to Wichita, picked up my good buddy Mark, who wanted to come along, and we just have a good time road tripping together. We headed straight for San Antonio. We're making really good progress. For Memorial Day, the traffic really wasn't too bad, but just on the north side of Austin, I had a belt break in one of my trailer tires, and a bubble popped out on the tread, and the trailer just started hopping everywhere. So we limped through Austin actually, to the south side of town, trying to find a place where we could get this tire swapped out. The problem was, I made a super boneheaded mistake. I had ordered 2 brand new wheels and 2 brand new tires. I spec'd them out, told them what wheel pattern I needed, and had these 2 tires ready to go just in case. But I jacked the trailer up, tried to swap a wheel on, and I don't know how it happened, other than I didn't double check fitment and put them on, but the wrong size wheel pattern was ordered. So it took me a while. We had to run around Austin trying to find someone that was open, first of all, and also someone that would help me out because no one had this tire in stock. So ultimately, there was a Firestone on the south side of Austin that did me a huge favor and helped me out because they didn't have a tire in stock, and because the tire on my wheel was brand spanking new with a sticker still on it. They were willing to pull the tire off of my brand new spare wheel, remove the destroyed tire from my trailer, and swap my brand new trailer tire onto my old trailer wheel. All in all, it took 3 stops to find someone who would do it and someone that was open. So after, again, doing me a huge solid, it only wasted about an hour and 15 minutes in Austin, and we were able to continue on to San Antonio. We got there about 5:15 in the afternoon, and man, this car is amazing. I knew it was good from the pictures, but this thing is such a beautiful survivor. It's one of the most solid Mustangs I've ever come across. The paint is gonna clean up amazing. We're gonna do that here on a future episode, just to show you guys what can be done with original paint and to not give up on chalky oxidized paint. But you're gonna see some really cool stuff with this car. The history on this car is it is a 2-owner car, and the first family owned it from brand new until about 2020, when the gentleman that I bought it from purchased it, and he had great intentions. Him and his brother were going to work on it, but his brother passed away. He kind of lost motivation. He did move the ball forward quite a bit, though. He sandblasted the bottom of the car and the rear end housing. He repainted those areas. He also repainted the engine bay, and you know, he was getting ready to put it on the road. He had a 289 rebuilt. The original engine was not a good, suitable rebuild core. So bought another one, had a board 30 over, and had it all assembled, but again, lost interest, and that's when I found it. Again, when we got out, Mark and I were just super impressed with the condition of this car. I was just ecstatic to get it. All the panels are there. The hood shows quite a bit more patina. There's not much paint left on it, but the rest of the car is remarkable. Let's take a look. From everything I can tell, this paint is original. There's really no respray anywhere. It does have, you know, some nice little patina coming through on pretty much all the high character lines, but I'm really digging it. It's got a few little rash areas. You got a dent here on this passenger fender, but, and someone added some marker lights because obviously there weren't any in 1967, but I'm not sure the history on that. But looking inside, again, you can see that he had undercoated, or actually repainted, not undercoated, these inner fender areas. The fender itself doesn't even have any rust through on the dog leg, which I'm really impressed by. The rocker areas too, I guess, I mean, it's kind of hard even just to find them with these trim pieces, but there is no rust at all on that bottom of that rocker. The frame rails are in just remarkable shape. Just, you can see a few little holes there in the cabin floor pans, but man, nothing that I'm upset about. Just immaculate sheet metal. Lower part of the quarter panel, again, stupid solid. Got some dings and dents and rash, but I think we can get a PDR guy on that and really do some remarkable things with it. He swapped on some weld wheels, which is kind of cool. That was kind of the look he was going for, and I don't blame him. Kind of a sharp look, although I'm not really digging the skinnies up front, the front runners. Bottom side of the car, just really remarkable. Exhaust is still hanging there. Again, this was a 289 car. The roof, you know, even though this is a San Antonio car all its life, the owner told me that this thing had been inside pretty much its entire life, and it shows, because the paint is usually just baked off the top of these cars that come out of West or South Texas, but this car just doesn't have that that wear that from the sun. Also, the interior itself is not just completely baked like you see on most Texas or West and South Texas cars. But again, got a goofy little marker light that's added to a 67. That's just odd. The deck lid itself is in great shape. No rust along that bottom lip. And the tail panel also super, super nice. Bumper, no real rash or big dents in it. I'm really shocked that the rear valance is in such good shape too. Usually these things take a pretty, well, you know, they take a lot of beatings over the years backing up into stuff. Not sure the story on this gas cap. That's kind of weird. Never seen that before. Got a little boo-boo there on the left quarter panel, but again, PDR and some hammer and dolly work will take care of that, no problem. Work that guy out. Again, look at the bottom of these quarter panels. This is an original paint car. I mean, this is unheard of. Even that blue Fastback that I've got has some little perforations down on the bottom parts of the quarter panels, but this thing just takes my breath away. Back onto the driver's side. Again, those lower quarter panel areas, really, really solid. Might have to take a peek behind the trim, but you know, the early look at the rockers shows that they're in remarkable shape. Quarter panel lip hasn't been rolled or abused in any way. Lower corners of those doors, again, super, super solid. This is hands down the nicest original Fastback I have personally come across. Maybe you guys have seen better, but I sure haven't. This fender as well, again, some dings, some dents, some little bit of character on those character lines, extra character I should say, but I'm super happy. This is really the biggest boo-boo on the car. The front valance and that left front fender, you can see that valance was pushed on and kind of buckled, pooched out a little bit, but that's something we can easily straighten out and make it look really presentable. The engine bay, again, the previous owner did a nice job cleaning it all up, painting it satin black. This is very Mopar of me, but I'm really fond of the engine bays to be painted the same color of the body. So we'll see what we can do with that. I like that so much better. But again, the original transmission sitting in place, the exhaust is still there. This was an air-conditioned car. Oh, by the way, all the stampings are on the fenders. The tag is still on the door. Some of the AC components still there. Grill's not too bad. Another look at the driver's side lower frame rail. I mean, solid. Torque box looks really good. I mean, usually those things hold and collect sediment and leaves and whatever else is kicked up from the road, but not this one. The inner fender, again, just nicely cleaned up, coated, kind of give it some protection. Well, it's my first day of ownership and I've already managed to lock myself out of the Fastback. So we're gonna bend some wire and slide it in between the glass and pull that lock up. All right, finally got that door open. Let's take a look at the inside of this car. First things first, obviously, got some holes in the floor pans, which is quite normal for these things. And the dash pad also looking pretty rough. Seats, obviously gonna need reconditioned. Floor pans, although they've got quite a few holes, really not bad. This is a prime candidate for a one-piece cabin floor pan. Just get it all done with. Knock it all out at one time. Hood hinges sitting there. Rear seat, looking tough. But again, for a South or West Texas car, not bad at all. They're usually just tattered and in shreds. Even underneath the rear seat, although it's definitely been lived in, inhabited by some mice apparently. The pans themselves, really solid. Nothing to worry about there at all. Side panels are all there. They are uncut as well, which is a huge bonus. You know how hard and expensive those pieces are to find. Sun visors there, headliner's gone, not a bad thing. I'm just glad the carpet was pulled out of this thing so it didn't hold moisture. There's your air conditioning, shifter still in place, speedometer's there. For interior, I'm just super pleased, great cores to work with. The patina on the tops of these fenders, really right up my alley. I'll show you that hood, which I got with it. It's in the bed of my truck. It's missing a lot more paint, but might look pretty cool with some Poppy's patina or something else on it to give it a little bit of sheen. Got a rebuilt 289 right there. The original wheels and hubcaps, nothing fancy there, just steel wheels. And a few other odds and ends. Now you've seen the bones on this 1967 Mustang Fastback. There will be plenty that don't agree with me, but this is a car that does not need or warrant a complete restoration and paint job. This thing will look slick as can be. Just polishing up this original paint. This is gonna be another budget build. I want you to hang out. We're gonna have another video where my buddy Derek goes to town on the paint on this thing and wakes it up. You'll be amazed. Again, it's a PSA for those that always want to paint stuff and just haven't seen the magic that a really good paint and detail guy can do.